What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to share 3 non-expert reactions to the Chiefs-Jets game from Sunday night. So I'm definitely not an expert, but that's why I'm calling them non-expert reactions. But I've watched a lot of football and consider myself sort of an intelligent guy in general, for what it's worth. You may or may not agree by the time you're done watching. But 3 non-expert reactions to that game. Which, by the way, the Chiefs won. Spoiler alert. Just kidding. The Chiefs won, I guess, 23-20. So here are my 3 reactions. So first of all, number 1, Zach Wilson is an enigma. So he's obviously quite talented. He's the 2nd pick in the draft. He had a really good college career. He's got, the arm talent, as they say, can throw it really far in many different directions. But he was thrust into the spotlight in New York in a pretty dysfunctional franchise from the beginning of his career. So it's just definitely not optimal in many ways for a young quarterback. That's why this year I thought it would be great for him to kind of just be the backup to Aaron Rodgers and have a year to kind of get acclimated to everything. But obviously that didn't work out for obvious reasons. So he was thrust back into the starting role unexpectedly. They won that game against the Bills and then lost a couple games, and it didn't look, his stats weren't very good in those losses. And then this game, I heard some people say that in this game the coaches kind of designed the game plan around him more, and that's kind of my takeaway is like, he's obviously talented, he's young, he's inexperienced, there's a lot of things he needs to get better at, like a lot of things, but if he has the right protection from the offensive line, the right coaching, and the right kind of game plan and stuff, then he can probably be successful. But it probably would have been better to have a year or 2 as a backup just to kind of get acclimated to everything. So that's my overall takeaway on Zach Wilson. I know I've noticed he's very polarizing and that he gets a lot of coverage and a lot of criticism, probably just because he plays in New York, right? Because there's like crazy media market in New York. So, all right, so that's my first reaction, a little long-winded about that. My second reaction, there wasn't much scoring in the second half. It was weird because the Chiefs are generally a pretty good offensive team. Jets maybe not so much, and we know the Jets are known to have a good defense. Chiefs, usually people don't say they have a really good defense, just kind of a middling defense. So it's kind of weird to have not that much scoring for a long time in the game, and it was sort of boring, right? With just like back and forth punting, and maybe the occasional turnover and whatnot. So, and especially on a Sunday night, they probably have more commercials on like Sunday night and Monday night games, I'm guessing. So makes it even more boring, right, when it's dragged out and like nobody's scoring. So reaction number 3 is about the Chiefs, and this is a classic example. Like whenever the Chiefs like eke out close wins, people always overreact and like, oh, they're not that good because they're just winning close games. Like I feel like that happens every season, at least the last few seasons. And then, last year they ended up winning the Super Bowl after a similar scenario. So maybe don't overreact to the Chiefs having some close games, because, there's a lot of different reasons why you can have close games in the NFL. But if you win, that's a pretty good sign. So those are my 3 very non-expert reactions to Chiefs-Jets. If you have any comments, ideally be civil, but people don't do that on YouTube when they're talking about sports, I've noticed. So anyway, but let me know your thoughts in a preferably civil way. And I'll be here talking about NFL, MLB, NBA, and maybe even other sports. So feel free to subscribe if you're interested. All right, catch you next time.